5 peas lived happily together inside a green pod, growing bigger and stronger as the days passed by. The pod turned from bright green to golden yellow, slowly drying under the warm, gentle summer sun. One beautiful sunny morning, a curious little boy discovered the pod hanging on the vine in his garden. He carefully picked it from the plant and held it in his small hand, examining the dried pod closely. The boy gently opened the pod with his fingers, revealing 5 round peas nestled safely inside their home. Each pea looked at the bright world outside for the very first time with wonder and great excitement. The boy smiled warmly as he observed the 5 peas, already thinking of something fun to do with them. The peas knew their amazing journey was about to begin, ready to leave their comfortable pod forever. The 5 peas gathered together one last time, sharing their dreams and wishes for the journey ahead. First pea spoke boldly, declaring it would fly the farthest and explore the wide world beyond them all. The second pea nodded eagerly, saying it too wanted to travel far and see amazing distant places. The third pea dreamed big, announcing it would fly straight up to the sun and touch the bright sky. The fourth pea spoke confidently, saying it would go wherever it pleased and make its own path freely. Fifth pea smiled gently and said whatever happens will happen, accepting its fate with humble grace, quietly. The other peas laughed at fifth pea's simple words, thinking it had no ambition or courage at all. But fifth pea remained calm and peaceful, knowing that sometimes the simplest path leads to something great. Little boy pulled out his pea shooter toy, loading the first pea carefully into the wooden barrel with care. He aimed high toward the sky, took a deep breath, and shot first pea flying fast into the distance. First pea soared through the air like a tiny rocket, disappearing far beyond the garden fence and trees. The second pea followed quickly, shooting out with great speed and vanishing into the distant horizon too. The third pea launched upward, toward the bright sun, flying higher and higher into the clear blue sky. But gravity pulled it down, eventually, and the third pea landed with a bounce on a nearby rooftop. The fourth pea shot sideways through the air, spinning and twirling before falling into a water gutter. Now only fifth pea remained, waiting patiently in little boy's hand for its turn to begin the journey ahead. Little boy loaded fifth pea into the pea shooter, aiming casually toward the old buildings across the narrow street. He pulled back and released, sending fifth pea flying gently through the warm afternoon air with grace. Fifth pea floated peacefully on the breeze, drifting softly toward a tall building with weathered wooden windows. It fell quietly downward, landing gently in a narrow crack between the window frame and the old sill. Fifth pea settled into a small patch of damp moss that had grown green in the shaded window corner. The warm afternoon sun began to shine through the dusty glass, casting golden light on the tiny pea. Fifth pea felt the moisture from the moss and the warmth from the sun, sensing new life beginning inside. As evening approached, fifth pea rested peacefully in its new home, ready to start a whole new chapter quietly. Inside the small attic room, sick girl lay weakly on her bed, her face pale and thin from illness. Mother sat beside her daughter's bed, gently wiping the girl's forehead with a damp cloth and worry. The attic was poor and simple, with slanted wooden ceiling and worn furniture scattered around the space. Sunlight streamed weakly through the dusty window, the only brightness in the dim, modest room each day. Sick girl stared at the ceiling with tired eyes, too weak to move much or play like other children. Mother held her daughter's small hand tenderly, speaking soft, comforting words, though her heart ached deeply inside. The room was filled with quiet sadness, yet the love between mother and daughter shone warmly bright.